Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and it's another episode of Kayfabe and Out. And today I'm joined by my regular co-host DK Danny and our very special guest. Well, he's a bit of a regular himself these days, Mr. Headie. And yeah, so we've seen Crown Jewel this weekend, and we've just watched Monday Night Raw at 1 p.m. UK time, which is very nice. Yeah, I mean, we're going to start off with the main talking point before we go into the actual card. Some big event has happened on Raw out of nowhere, shocked us all. But Bron Breakker has turned on Seth Rollins. It seems like Bron and Bronson have kicked Seth out of the Vision. What do you guys make of this turn?
I mean, we were sat here last week and we were just bored of how predictable the shows were, how there was nothing to look forward to, and just what less than a week later, they've done this massive angle which I did not expect at all. I was convinced they were gonna run the Vision until Mania, Raw after Mania, sometime around that, and then they'll have Braun turn on Seth, and then lead into the summer. That'll be the feud, and they've done it this early, and I'm really shocked. Like I don't think I've been shocked by a turn since probably Cena turning heel at Chamber. Like I don't think anyone. We were all watching the show and we went watching the show, but when we seen it, none of us thought, okay, yeah, look, they're gonna turn him heel. Well, not turn him heel, but turn against him tonight, and they actually did it. So just full of shock, and I mean, it's unpredictable, right? That's what we want from wrestling. We've been sat here for the last year, and Triple H's booking has been so boring, and nothing to look forward to. And he's doing this massive turn. There's a lot of avenues they could go. So it's interesting to say the least, because I'd say it's a bit early. Like the Vision were just coming off, I think, their most dominant night. Seth pinned Cody, Bronson Reed pinned Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was pinned once since Cody Rhodes pinned him at Mania, which is a big deal. And they were finally clicking. I feel like the story with Seth and Cody, Seth basically having to do anything to beat Cody Rhodes, and at the end he still had to cheat to beat Cody Rhodes. That story was fantastic. It was the best Seth's looked in ages. Bronson Reed, I think he's the one who's benefited the most from this faction, but he's Bron Breakker, he wasn't doing much, and then all of a sudden, his character arc in this show, when Seth was taking credit for everything, Seth was like, "I didn't need Bronson Reed to win. I didn't need Bron Breakker to win. I didn't need Paul Heyman to win." He named all of them, and Bron Breakker had some interesting, body language, and you could see they were planting seeds. I don't think none of us thought, yeah, tonight they'll do it. We were like, oh yeah, Raw after Mania, slowly build up, like they're doing with the Judgment Day, like they're doing with the Bloodline, like all these factions where we've been like, when they're gonna turn, and they just long it out. But this one, it feels like they've done it early. I mean, it's better to do it early than late, right? But when you do it late, the story goes and there's no interest in it. But when you do it early, it's just a shock. And I thought it was amazing here. I don't think people should have complaints about this. The timing was weird though. We've got War Games in what, a month and a half. What's the War Games lineup gonna be? We've got Punk. We set up now. What's gonna happen there? Is Punk just gonna win the title with the help from the Vision? Is that gonna retain? That'll be weird. So there's a lot of questions, but I mean that's good. It's better than us being here after Crown Jewel being like, okay, we know what the direction is. It's just good to have some unpredictability.
Hey, Heady, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Danny. Um, overall, that turn, I don't think on an episode like that as well, we didn't expect it, man. Like, the guy in my profile picture, he finally found his balls. He finally did something good for once. So, but it's a big shock, bro. I mean, we did see it coming, but not at this point, bro. It's like, I don't even know what to say myself, bro. That's how I'm still processing it, you get me? But I think it's the right move, especially considering like the circumstances around Seth as well. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen, but there are reports that he's done his shoulder when he was doing us. I don't know what the move's called. Is it flying headbutt or something? Whatever it's called.
Coast to coast headbutt, yeah.
Yeah. I think on the landing he fucked his arm shoulder up. So I think it's come too early, but it is the right move because realistically, Seth's probably going to be out for a very long time. But the matter of how they did it was very surprising, man. Like at
I'm
the end of the show.
Yeah, I'm surprised because even if he was injured, they still don't know the extent of it. It could maybe be a few weeks, and I mean, we get to know in the next few weeks why they pull the trigger this early. Do they want to crown Braun Breaker champion this early? Which I don't think they will personally. I think maybe next Mania or even SummerSlam next year they'll crown him. I don't see Braun Breaker being champion right now. There's guys like Punk who should have title reigns before him. it just seems weird. And again, Seth's age is not being disclosed, right? Like he's hurt his shoulder and he's getting tested. Maybe he could be out for a few weeks. So it just feels like this has been in the work for 3 4 weeks. I don't think it's a sudden change where they've been like, we have to pivot because Seth got injured. I mean, they've basically planted the storyline in the last few weeks, right? Seth's been like, I'm my own man. I can beat Cody Rhodes without Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Braun Strowman. That's exactly what he's done. He's proven to be right. He didn't need all these guys, and he said it in his promos. And it just feels like, you know, it had to happen sooner or later. But I feel like I'd rather it happen this early than us
Yeah.
be us be sat here next year, this start being like when they're gonna turn Bron Breakker against it.
Listen, and regarding Seth's injury, you don't know with this guy, especially what happened at SummerSlam. Like Danny, you were the only one that said it's a work. He's not injured. It might be too early to say, but they might be going down that route again. Like, they
I
might
don't
be
have that
doing it as a
same
work.
I don't have that
Yeah,
same feeling that I did with that
yeah,
injury. I feel like
exactly.
with this one, it just feels like they've done the turn so perfectly. If they went back on it and the plan was okay, we tricked CM Punk and we had Seth return against CM Punk because Punk would be like, Seth's got no one now, I can beat him. It
Mm,
would just feel like they've wasted the turn because when Braun does then actually turn on Seth, will it feel as good as
the
this one?
same, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 100%, bro. Like, I know what you're trying to say. Like,
I'm
next time it
probably
happens, it might feel forced, whereas this one
Exactly.
it was like a complete surprise.
Like the SummerSlam turn was, I thought was perfect.
Yeah, that was
Having
yeah,
him,
literally.
and I just don't want them to use this again just for another episode of Unreal. Yeah, so
I
forget
mean,
it.
it's still fresh, isn't it? We have to wait probably till next week,
Oh yeah,
next week's
we'll have a better
episode.
idea about this time next week. Definitely.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm probably in the same boat as you guys, as in like I completely did not expect them to pull the turn that quickly. Like it's just thrown a complete span in the works. I mean, we all had plans for War Games with like Brock teaming up with Seth, Braun, etc., etc., and it's just like wow. You got to give them credit because obviously we complain about how late, boring, and predictable the booking is. So you got to give credit where credit's due. They've thrown a span in the works, and yeah, it was a great moment. And you mentioned it as well, Danny. I think the opening segment where Seth's like doing that promo, I didn't need anyone, etc., etc., and you could see it in Bron's like facial expressions and body language. But I didn't expect them to do it that same night, which is like wow. But fair play to them, man. I mean, it's definitely added a much needed dimension to the vision now. It's a much more interesting thing. I mean, for me in the vision, I felt like Bronson's been the biggest benefactor from it, and I felt like
100%, bro.
kind of getting lost in the shuffle. So I'm happy they're going this route, giving Bron more of an importance in the group. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see what they've got in store. But I do have a bad feeling, yeah, that this is leading to one of those ones where, let's say they do Bron and Punk for the title or whatever, and then Seth, and it's revealed that this whole thing was orchestrated as like a master plan. I can see them
Yeah,
going through it as well, and
I'll hate that. I'll absolutely hate that. The first SummerSlam one I loved. There's one of the best moments they've done recently. Most people were like, we won here, and you all were like, no, he's actually injured. He's not gonna come back. I was like, no, trust me, this is clear. He's gonna come back. If they do it again, though, I'm not. I'm gonna be like, yeah, forget this. There's no point of doing
they're
this.
gonna end up rinsing it.
And again, people are gonna get tired of that. Like, okay, why are you trying to work your fans for? It's just stupid. And like Carpe said, the whole vision dynamic. I feel like the one who really brought the vision down was Paul Heyman. I don't think Seth ever needs Paul Heyman. Seth's one of those guys that can hold his own. He's a great talker. Paul Heyman was basically stood there for him, doing nothing. And we've seen in the past with guys like Brock Lesnar, early Bloodline Roman Reigns, are guys that actually need Paul Heyman to speak for him, for them. And he did a good job with that. Their interactions were amazing. Even Punk, heel Punk in 2012, Paul Heyman, CM Punk was a Paul Heyman. That again made sense here. Seth and Heyman had no chemistry at all. I had this pitch in my head today. I was thinking about it. I think I might have said in our group chat. I was like, after WrestleMania, Raw after Mania, have Seth turn on Heyman. Have Seth be like, I'm not gonna get snaked by you. I'm kicking you out, and I'm not gonna take that risk. It would have been amazing. It would have been so much. I don't know if you guys probably watch AW, but this happened when William Regal basically had MJF win the title, and the next Wednesday, the Dynamite, MJF turned on William Regal. It was perfect. If they did something like that, it would have been 10 times better, and that way you could have introduced more members to the faction. But with this faction, I feel like Heyman was there for no reason. He was great when he was with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed because he suits them, yeah. He suits them guys who need someone for talk to. When he was with Seth, boy, the last week segment when he was like, "Oh, I don't know why I choose you if you lose to Cody Rhodes." Boy, that he's doing absolutely nothing in that faction. So I feel like now the dynamic with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed Paul Heyman will be really interesting because Seth does not need, Paul Heyman by his side. He's a guy, he's a well established main eventer, been in the company for over 15 years now. He doesn't need a guy like Paul Heyman to talk for himself. It would have been better if he just kicked him out. But I mean, it's better they've done it now than, drag you on for another 6, 7 months.
But you know where it is though, Danny. I do think Seth's actually injured. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, I agree.
And in my opinion, yeah, like they're not stupid enough to do the whole it was a fake injury again because they've just done it. Like doing it twice in a few months is just taking the absolute piss. So I genuinely think Seth is actually hurt and you might be on the shelf for a bit, and that's why they've done this. Because if he's not injured, and I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't make any sense to do this.
But he's not had his test yet though, so it's a bit weird that they've already. Maybe next week they're gonna turn.
I think next week they'll probably end up writing him off TV. They'll probably find out by then.
I'd say I'd have probably done it after Survivor Series, maybe, because with War Games, the Vision was probably like the perfect thing for that format, the War Games format. So it's very interesting. So I do think Seth's actually hurt, and if he is, then fair enough. It's a good pivot, but yeah, man, it would be interesting to see in the coming weeks what route they go down. But
it is a good pivot, but I mean, I'd rather have the Seth and Braun storyline actually finish and have Braun Breaker dethrone Seth Rollins. With Seth injured now, if he's like, I don't know, like Seth's basically out of the picture and Braun Breaker he's not gonna become champion, is it? He's not gonna, be Punk's gonna, I think, be Seth if Seth is actually injured. So I don't know, man. It just the timing felt. I mean, the turn was amazing, but the timing just felt so off to me.
You know what they could do, Danny? They could do something like, let's say Bron and Punk have a match. Is Saturday Night Main Event the next thing?
Yeah, in November.
Isn't the no War Games?
Yeah, before that, like 2-3 weeks before that. It's
right. Let's say they
let's
say they have a title match. They could do an angle where Seth comes back, interferes, and like costs Bron the match, and then something like that.
Do you think maybe out on this year? Do you think there's any chance Gunther could get involved with this, especially with Punk and Bron being involved?
I think Gunther's reserved for John Cena. I think that's his final program.
Fairs. I'm just doing too much speculating at this point. But I think legitimately, if he is injured, they'll probably find out in the next few days. And I think what it will lead to next week's episode, they'll probably write Seth off TV. If they do find out he's legitimately injured, that's what I think they'll do. They'll write him off TV.
Plus, just talking about that coast to coast headbutt. When I was watching that, I thought it was amazing. It looked so good, and I think we all popped for that movie. Yeah, and in kayfabe, it makes absolutely sense. Seth pulling out moves he's never done in his life to be Cody Rhodes. He knew he had to go to the absolute end of the world to be Cody Rhodes. This guy had a Spanish fly, coast to coast headbutt. This was his best performance I've seen for Seth in a really long time, and he ended up injuring himself. It's
Didn't
just
even hit him with a crossroads.
In hindsight, though, that move was actually really silly.
Yeah,
it was silly, as in, why would you try to injure yourself? But in kayfabe, it makes sense, right? This guy's gonna try to do everything to beat Cody Rhodes, and by the end, it still wasn't enough because he had to use that Rolex to beat him.
Yeah, but if he's got like a serious injury now, was it really worth it? But hey, But it was let's talk about the match then. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. It was a great match.
Very good match.
His first ever victory. What did you guys think of the match and the finish and the result?
The match itself surprised me because we all thought in the preview someone's gonna get involved. It's not gonna be a clean match. But in the end, Seth did surprise us, man. No one came out. Fair enough, he did. Well, he did cheat because he used the Rolex, but he did beat Cody clean. That's impressive, man. Because the match itself was a really good match. Showed, I think, probably two of the best wrestlers in the company right now. And they put on a good match. I'd probably give it an 8, but it was my opinion.
In my opinion, it was the second best match after the Hell in a Cell match. That's how high I rate this match. I thought it was really, really good. The story was the main thing about it, right? The story was Seth could not beat Cody Rhodes. He's been insecure about this. like last few weeks, he's basically nearly lost his head. He has to calm down, and then he's gone into this match knowing he's had to do basically everything to beat Cody Rhodes. And by the end of it, he hit a Spanish fly, coast to coast headbutt. There was one move where he countered a Cody Cutter into a sit down powerbomb, which was really good. I haven't seen this guy hoop like this in years. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen Seth pull out these moves, and everyone was raving about this performance. They were like, wow, this is an amazing performance by Seth Rollins. And by the end of it, he still had to use a Rolex to beat Cody Rhodes. And then, which is good because at least it wasn't interference, right? We were sat here, we was like, oh, would Brock get involved? Would Randy get involved? Would the Vision get
Austin
involved? We
Theory.
were saying so many things, and the way it ended was amazing. Like, Seth had to use something to beat Cody Rhodes because it still wasn't enough at the end. And then post match, he cut that promo, was like, I told you guys, I didn't need anyone. I didn't need anything. He just goes back into being that delusional heel, that like hypocritical heel, which I think he's the best at, absolute best at. So yeah, I thought the story of the match, the action match, these both have great chemistry with each other. I think Cody Seth were one of the best pairs in the company by far. So yeah, man, I thought the match was amazing. It wasn't my best match of the night. We'll get onto that, but a really, really good match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%, bro.
I agree with both of you guys. I think Cody and Seth have incredible chemistry. They've never had a bad match together, and yeah, as you said, Danny, the fact that Seth's insecure about not beating Cody, that really added a really interesting element to the match and the story itself. And you know what is I really appreciate about the finish as well is that nowadays it's always an interference, right? That gets the heel or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I actually like the fact that they had, like, obviously he didn't win cleanly, but the heel is using his own resources, his own intellect. Like, we don't really see that. It's kind of a lost art in wrestling nowadays. So yeah, I really liked the finish. I thought it was it was done very well.
Oh.
Great match. Yeah, I think Crown Jewel in general, every match delivered. Every match was very, very good. People are rating this PLE very highly compared to other PLEs this year. But yeah,
I thought it was a top 3 PLE in the company this year.
This year, yeah.
Quite easy. I think
Yeah.
Chamber, this, and
not
maybe
hard to do, to be
it's
fair.
not. Yeah, like you said, it's not hard. Like, listen, all they had to do this pay per view was put on good wrestling, good storytelling. They had Bloodline Law. They had great nostalgia about Cena and AJ, and you got a great pay per view. It doesn't need to be, interferences, long matches, everything. Just short and sweet. 5 really good matches. All had really good stories. I mean, we began to the Roman and Bronson match. Jey Uso story there was amazing. Rhea, Io, Cena stars, everything. It was just amazing, and it just says like, why can't these guys put these pay per views out every month? It's quite easy, and sometimes we be sat here after pay per views, be like, that was really underwhelming. They never delivered, and it's just quite easy. The formula is right there. You don't have to have 1,000 interferences. Interference is okay when it's like the culmination and you need like this big end game finish in wrestling, but every pay per view you just get tired.
Yeah, exactly. Nail on the head. But to be honest, even on the preview, Danny, we said we expected all the matches to deliver in terms of but yeah, it was a good pay per view. I mean, ESPN gave it a B, didn't they? Compared to WrestlePalooza, so
Which is crazy because they gave WrestlePalooza a C. That should be a D or a E. That
Literally.
should have been a D. I can't believe they gave that a C and they gave this. If that was a C, this was easily an A. But that WrestlePalooza should have been like a D or something.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the other member of the Vision then, who also had a great match. Bronson Reed, Roman picks up the victory over Roman Reigns in the Australian street fight. And I think is that the third person now this decade to pin Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, I
Did
think
Solo pin?
He pinned him in a tag match. But I mean, in a singles match, I think it's only Cody and Bronson.
Cody and Bronson, yeah, that's impressive, man. I can't lie.
How high the company is on Bronson Reed.
I mean, we've spoke about it and how the Vision has, impacted Bronson Reed, and I think out of all the members,
He's
Braun Breaker,
benefited,
even Seth
yeah.
Rollins, he's benefited the most. But for this time last year, he wasn't even in the main event scene. I remember it took him, around SummerSlam, I think it was around this time last year, SummerSlam, where he got into the feud with Seth Rollins, and that really put him on the map. The Crown Jewel match, the match on Raw, etc. So they're very good matches. And then the start of this year, I think he was injured because he got injured at War Games. He came back, joined the Vision, and since then he's been on a roll. I mean, he's pinned Roman, he's pinned Roman, he's pinned Orton early this year. He just had a really good year, and I feel like he is. I've been saying it. He's one of your best big guys. He's like your Braun Strowman, your Big Shows from the previous eras. You make him bigger, and maybe give him a little title reign here or there. Like he can talk, he can wrestle. He's just an amazing athlete.
Yeah, he's actually quite comedically he's quite good as well. Like the whole tribal beef gimmick is very funny as well. But yeah, man, shout out Bronson Reed. He's proved a lot of us wrong, including me. I wasn't really high on him. He's been amazing since he's been in the division, and yeah, fair play to him. He's had a great match with Roman Reigns and picked up a huge win. That's but talking of the finish, I thought the way they done it was very good as well. Again, Danny, you mentioned not only were the match quality good on this card, but the storytelling was there as well, with Jay and Jimmy getting involved and costing Roman the match. What did you guys make of that whole debacle?
I mean, I was just so certain Roman was going to win against Bronson. I never thought of Jey Uso maybe costing Roman Reigns by accident, and that's exactly what happened. And I feel like it was a great finish. It gives Bronson Reed a massive win. It furthers the Bloodline story. Roman after the match was like, "I don't want to see you guys until Christmas."
For
Which
Christmas.
it was hilarious. Like, no, not even Thanksgiving, but he goes, "Stay away till Christmas in a few months," which was amazing. And again, it furthers storyline. Like Jey Uso again costing Roman Reigns a match, and after the match, he was, he lost himself. He was like, "We don't need." To
He's
Jimmy, he was
out.
like, "We don't need Roman." And I think Roman was beside himself. So I'm interested to see where the story goes. I was certain it was heading into War Games. Maybe having Jey turn on Roman in War Games or some kind of shenanigans in War Games. But now without that, I have basically no idea where the story is going to go. But I mean, I'm excited for it. It's a great arc for. I mean, we've been saying it on this podcast that Jey Uso is one of the best characters in wrestling right now, in the company right now. He's doing amazing stuff. But the Yeet stuff, he took his character into a whole different dimension, which I didn't think he really had in him, which is amazing. And again, with Jimmy there as well, Jay, Roman, it was just a great finish, and I think he benefited everyone.
Yeah, like we did say on the preview that this character development of Jey Uso recently, of him being like finally standing out for himself, standing up for himself, I think it's gonna lead to one big moment. He's eventually gonna turn on Roman. But in the match itself, yeah, it was a good match. Bronson Reed, it did show that he is a good wrestler, even for his size. I mean, you don't get many big wrestlers that tend to be that. I wouldn't say athletic, but he's a good in ring. He's pretty good, I would say. I just think generally he deserved the win over Roman, especially. I did say it on the preview. I think he should win, especially with it being in Australia as well. Oh, yeah, I've not really got anything else to say other than it was a good match.
I got a feeling they're gonna do JB Roman and Mania next year. I got a feeling. I'm not
You
gonna lie.
know what though? I wouldn't mind that. I think that is a story that's worth revisiting. But I think maybe they should do it with the title involved. That's my only thing if they're gonna go that route.
Yeah, like have Jey Uso become what Roman was for the last 4 years, the tribal chief, have him actually like become a nasty heel, one of the best heels of the company, and have Roman basically be like, "What have I created here?" And Roman basically have him to take it down. Like Seth had him to basically take Roman down because of what he created there. The story is amazing, and I don't know if they do a Mania, but I mean, there's another JB Roman match right there.
100%. I mean, I
Yeah,
know
100% it's in the works.
yeah, I know people soured on Roman J because of the terrible SummerSlam match, but
Yeah.
take that out of the picture. They had two amazing matches in
Oh yeah.
20, and the storytelling between them, that was like from real shit, some of the best shit we've seen in years in the WWE. Like, it felt real, it felt personal. That's definitely something they can revisit. Roman Reigns was the guy that flipping, manipulated Jey Uso, like gaslighted him, all this. And you can have Jay just finally take his frustration out and show that now I'm the top dog. It's not you, Roman. And yeah, that's definitely a story that's worth revisiting. Wouldn't mind if they get a title involved, maybe with a babyface Roman up against a heel Jay. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, we will see that one more time before Roman's done, 100%.
Yeah.
But
The
where do you
intriguing the intriguing part about this is what's gonna happen with Jimmy, whose side
Ha-
is he gonna end up
Headie,
taking.
you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say,
Oh
what do you
shit,
think
my bad.
happened to Jimmy Uso here? Like, where does he take? Because it's really interesting here because maybe he gets his own singles run and he goes down that line, or I don't know. It's just like because right now it feels to me like it's more JV Roman than it is JV Jimmy, in my opinion, especially what they're doing over the last few weeks. So I mean, I'm quite interested to see where they take Jimmy in the next few weeks.
Bad for Jimmy because Jimmy Uso has more than done enough to prove that he is that guy that can have
Oh yeah.
He's really good on the mic. He's really funny. He can go in the. I'd argue he's a better wrestler than Jay even. Jimmy, I think Jimmy doesn't. It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a hard one because with the bloodline, they're always going to be involved with each other. You can never have Jimmy, Jay, Roman, Solo, etc., on the same show and never have them intertwined. You know what I mean? They're always going to be involved in each other's stories throughout their career. So it's a difficult one, but I think Jimmy Uso, maybe like an IC title or a US title run could be in the near future for him, which I think he deserves 100%. But yeah, I mean that's a common theme with all the Samoans, isn't it? It's like I feel like Jimmy, Roman, and Jay are getting their flowers and getting their spotlight, etc. Jimmy, Solo, and Jacob, those three guys right there, they need to be shown more love by booking.
100%.
Whilst we're on the topic though of these bloodline, like these Samoan and Tongans, shout out to the MFT man, bro.
Well,
That
they're
was
entering into a feud with the YS6, and people have been saying that might be the War Games match. But you know what? Let him cook. Let him cook in War Games.
I mean, shout out to Tamatonga, bro. I did miss him. I can't lie. He's bro. The guy looks massive right now compared to what he was.
There's Hikuleo, there's Tamatonga, Talatonga, and there's another one as well. No?
Tongalo with JC Mateo.
Yeah, JC Mateo.
And Solo. But man, the face paint as well. What is it? What are they called? The Gorillas of Destiny. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that was in.
Yeah, that was a good shot thingy as well, man. I think all of them wearing it now just gives them that aura that they didn't have before. Even JC Mateo, man, that guy looks useless, but even with the face paint on, he looks somewhat scary. I mean, it'll be fascinating to see what route they go down as well, man.
Just talking about that faction, I feel like Solo Sikoa just deserves so much more than he's got with the company.
Yeah, 100%.
He's been such a reliable hand, and
Such a good worker.
And he's feuded with all the top guys in the company: Randy, Roman, Cena, even. And he's held himself up, and he just got lost in the mid card right now. I hope that just don't have him get absolutely lost, because it's looking that way right now, and just having him involved with like the MFT and Y6. I feel like he's done more than enough to have a US title reign here or there.
Do you know what, Danny? It's funny you mentioned all these guys. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I 100% somewhere down the line, I'm not saying in the immediate future, maybe in 2 or 3 years, I think a WrestleMania main event, yeah,
just with all the
fatal 4-way or fatal 5-way involving Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, and Jacob. That could be something special, right? As a WrestleMania program with all the Samoan heritage, the bloodline, the family stuff. That's a WrestleMania.
Carpe, at this point, they might as well just do a PLE and Samoa, man, at this point.
Put all 6 in the chamber. Put them in the chamber. 6-man chamber.
They could do a
Think all of them.
Fighting the Hawaiian forests and stuff. Then that would be hilarious.
Just do a Royal Rumble in Samoa. Get all the bloodline members in it. Whoever wins is the tribal chief.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Something silly like that would be amazing.
It'd be funny, man.
But yeah, let's talk about another great match then on the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, PLE, sorry. John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Bro,
last time.
Match. This was undoubtedly the best match of the PLE by far. I mean, both AJ Styles, John Cena, man, they showed out. I'm gonna let Danny talk on this because he knows what he's saying.
Now you can talk about Headie.
Nah. I need you to talk about it, bro. You're gonna go into depth with this one.
Listen, these are 2 legends, 2 icons, basically the faces that have defined a generation, John Cena and AJ Styles. And we've seen the previous matches, right? We've seen the match at Rumble, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, all great matches, especially the Rumble and SummerSlam matches. This match was right up there. It wasn't maybe as good technically or wrestling wise as that, but I mean the story in this match, the finishes plumbing in this match, all the callbacks, everything from start to finish, from John Cena giving a note to the ring announcer to properly calling out AJ Styles. You could tell AJ didn't know that was gonna happen. He had a genuine smile on his face, and everything about the match. AJ Styles basically wearing the gear he wore first at TNA. It was just such a good match, and I enjoyed this. I think it went about 20 minutes, something like that, and they were
27 minutes.
Yeah, something. I mean, it didn't feel that long. I'll be honest with you. I was having so much fun. It did not feel that long at all. And again, a really good match. I think there was a Y6 tribute in there, which was really good. I think there was a Miss, there was a Randy Orton. I mean, Cena nearly went for the punt. I mean, it was just great, right? It's just exactly what the Cena heel turn, not heel turn, but retirement tour has needed, because the first half of it was awful. But I mean, that Cody Cena classic, which I think is still better than this match. I still
Yeah.
probably rate that Cody Cena match higher, but this match is right up there with him. And I'm just glad, he's had two opponents in Cody and Styles who are, he's been able to put up bangers. And you could tell they both really wanted this match. At a point, I just gave up. I was like, yeah, they're not gonna have this match. But I mean, I'm so glad it happened, and the way it happened was phenomenal. Pardon the pun, but I thought it was a great match. Both guys, basically putting on a banger. I mean, these both are nearly 50 years old, and just to do what they did in the ring for that long is just shows that they're two of the very best. Like, one guy defined a whole generation of TNA, the best period of TNA, and John Cena is basically the face of wrestling. So phenomenal, man. Enjoyed
One
it.
thing I
And
will
you
say,
missed one though, bro. Shout out to Chris Jericho, man.
Oh, yeah. Also, another really cool throwback to the match was they never left the ring again. We were talking about how good the Rumble match was because they never left the ring once. They did the same here, which I thought was really cool. Like we were talking about Cody and Seth being, wrestling soulmates. I think Cena and Styles are wrestling soulmates. We'll go into detail about, Cena tributes and who his best rivals, best matches. He's gonna have a lot of matches with Styles that are gonna be like his top 10 matches, top 50 matches, and even his rival, like the rivalry back in 2015 and 2016 and start 2017 I thought was really good. The matches was really good. Beat up John Cena is one of my favorite phrases. So, this is a great match, man. A really great fun match that I think needed to happen, and I'm glad it happened.
yeah, we all knew it was going to be a great match, but even I was surprised. It exceeded my expectations. Like, it was amazing. I mean, but aside from AJ's gear, like, that was criminal, bro. That's like seeing a fool trying to fit this on the wall when he was 20. But aside from that, it was great. It was fun. The John Cena using all the finishes, especially the Sister Abigail one, that was a beautiful little tribute. Especially with the audience started doing the Fireflies thing, that was brilliant. Just a great match. And I'm happy for John Cena because he's kind of not redeemed it. I'm not story-wise, but like, he's put on some amazing matches.
Yeah.
Before
Especially after how they booked him the first half of the year. I
yeah,
mean, that was abysmal, man. Now what he's doing
yeah.
at his age, putting on these bangers, it's just unreal, man. It'll be sad to see him go, bro. He's only got, what is it, 3 dates left.
3 days is mental.
Isn't it,
Like,
man?
that is,
Like,
bro. Like, in January, we were sat here, he's gonna have this year, and time's just flown by. And
bro,
now
it's
what
gone
he's got?
so quick.
Is it actually it's 4 days because he's got two road dates in November. He's got War Games and he's got his final
Okay.
stuff. But I mean, still, bro, the
Hey,
time was.
whilst we're on the topic of John Cena, though, I mean, we did mention it on the preview. What do you guys think's next for him?
Next, I mean, he's got two road dates. Maybe, I mean, they're saying a match with Dom is still gonna happen. Maybe an RC Open challenge where I'll be saying, have seen an answer it. I don't know what he does though. And going into War Games, I think Dave Meltzer have said it that seeing if we do maybe the RC title match at War Games. So again, I don't know. I think Cena's booking right now is really unpredictable. I think his final opponent is basically nailed down. I think most people know it's gonna be Gunther.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nailed down, boys. Other 3 dates, Dom, I think, but other than that, I'm not really sure.
I think Dominic Mysterio makes the most sense, really, whether it's on a Raw or a Survivor Series. Yeah, that's 100% the route they should go down. Gunther's most likely going to be his last opponent. But I just want to say about John Cena, this guy, gotta give him credit, man. This guy is an amazing. He's had a lot of criticism in his career saying he's boring as a wrestler. 5 moves of doom. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Like, this guy's put on great matches with guys like Edge, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Shawn Michaels. The list goes on and on.
Bro,
Umaga,
literally, you could
JBL.
be here all day.
I could be here all day, bro. People need to start putting some respect on John Cena's name. Not only he already has the respect as a character on the mic, as a face of a company, blah blah blah. But I'm talking from Grap's perspective, and because even his open US title open challenge run, he put on some amazing matches as well. Even in this final run, he's had some great matches. Bro, this guy can generally You know what it is? Him and Triple H always get like touted as these guys who can't wrestle and not can't wrestle, but they got carried by their opponents in their great matches. I think it's a load of bollocks. Even though I hate Triple H, yeah, I give him credit as a wrestler. He's put on some of the greatest matches of all time. Same with John Cena. John Cena, if you were to do a top 100 WWE matches of all time, I'm telling you, John Cena's going to appear in that list the most out of any other wrestler.
Carpe, Osgasa here, I don't think any of us think Cena is the greatest ever wrestler. In my opinion, Cena has the best match catalog in WWE.
Yes, he does,
By
100%.
far, I think he has the best match catalog.
And he has some of the best rivalries of all time as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
But-
so please put some respect on his name. This guy can wrestle, and bro, we could be sat here for 2-3 hours talking about all his great matches and how they happen, all the rivalries. He's just one of the greatest all time. And I'm just ashamed, man, that it just happened the way it did in his retirement tour. Like the first few months, what was the thing with the heel turn? The turn.
You know what? It's not going to affect his legacy. I'm not hearing that, bro. Who the hell is going to look at this final round and be like, oh yeah, John Cena wasn't as good as he? Nah.
Yeah, true.
But it is what it is now. You just got to enjoy it for what it is. Just enjoy the little time that we have left with him. I mean, we're gonna little spoiler alert, but we are gonna do like a proper in-depth John Cena video once he does have his final appearance. So you can look
If I can
that
add one more thing, whilst we're on the topic of this, you lot probably seen it. The Rock saying he might have a little bit of
I'm gonna
influence.
bring that up.
Oh man,
what a guy.
bro,
Trying to
I
be
just I wouldn't mind The Rock being his last opponent.
Oh my! You know what? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I'll be.
Oh, we know you love it. We know you love it.
Bro, everyone would love that. You're telling me if the John Cena issued an open challenge and they got answered by The Rock,
The Rock, bro.
Christ.
Apparently, the way they are going down the path is looking like a tournament, which I mean, we spoke about it. I'm not the biggest fan of a tournament, but if it is that way, I think Gunther wins, and I do think Gunther. I know Carpe is not the biggest fan of Gunther.
No. I like Gunther, but I don't know. I think Gunther Cena's kind of lost its appeal.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, that is one way to basically bring Gunther back in it.
Yo, Danny, check what I just sent you. Display this, yeah.
You guys got me theorizing now, for fuck's sake. Like, imagine The Rock. That tells Gunther, sorry, brother, but I'm taking your place 3 times. You know what's funny? The Rock Cena was meant to happen at WrestleMania 30. Vince McMahon actually wanted to do it 3 years in a row.
Did you actually?
No way.
Rock got injured in the Mania 29 match. That's why it didn't happen.
That would be crazy, man.
He was genuinely planning that. What a guy.
Once in a lifetime to that, yeah.
But other matches on the card. We had Rhea Ripley and not Rhea Ripley, man. Was she on the
Rhea and Io
Rhea,
against
yeah.
Kabuki Warriors? I mean, it was a good match. I mean, I don't think it was anywhere near Cody Seth or seeing the stars. But again, the main thing about this was the storyline, right? Kairi Sane, who I think is the Jey Uso in the storyline, like it was to Roman Reigns. Kairi Sane basically sacrificed herself for Asuka, and I thought it was a great story. On Raw again, I think Asuka just slapped Kairi Sane, because she lost the match where it was really Kairi. Asuka, but I think again the storyline's been great here, and I can see Kairi Sane, eventually turning on Asuka. And I think it's the best work Asuka and Kairi Sane have done probably since, Kairi Sane and Asuka, probably since the NXT days, because they basically did nothing on the main roster, both of them. And, Asuka's a really good heel right now. So again, the story is good. And just, it's something Triple H has been like, okay, I need to create more stories outside the main event title scene, be Rhea. And again, Rhea and Io are both main eventers, and they both, in this title scene, which will do wonders for Asuka and Rhea. So, I mean, just, yeah, good stuff. On the last match, Stephanie against Tiffy. I mean, I thought this was one of Tiffy's best showings in a
Best
long
matches,
time.
yeah.
She's
Good
been
match.
a SmackDown with guys like Nia Jax and Jade Gargill, and that's just boring. The SmackDown Women's Division might be the most boring part of wrestling right now. Quite comfortable there, and just seeing her with Stephanie Vaquer, mixing it up, I thought it was great. And yeah, I expected Stephanie to win. So yeah, just a good little match.
Yeah, I agree with you. And speaking of Stephanie Vaquer, well, I can't really speak what I want to say about her because there's one certain asset that she has that I'm a big fan of. But
She's got 4. She's got 4.
there you go, Headie's big fan. But yeah, man, I think Crown Jewel was a solid pay-per-view. We can't really complain too much. If you had to give it a grade, what would you give it?
8.5.
Yeah, I'd give this an 8, man. It's probably one of the better pay-per-views they've done
I
recently.
said grade, and these guys are giving me numbers.
Oh, graded.
Oh, great. You see,
Um,
Carpe, bro, after we're used to the numbers now, bro,
I'd say B plus.
I'd give it I don't know, B? Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Ah,
rating.
a solid B. Which, you know what? I think not since SummerSlam they've had. I think that's the first B pay-per-view they've had since SummerSlam, though.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the year, we'll do a pay-per-view ranking, yeah, and there's going to be so many pay-per-views in like the D and C, and this will be one of the ones in A or B. So yeah, I mean, just really solid pay-per-view. And last week when we did the preview, I totally forgot we had another Saturday Night Main Event in November. I mean, we never mentioned it, and I just seen, oh, we got another one. I thought War Games was like the next pay-per-view, but I mean, Seth v Punk is in the match. I don't know what's gonna happen now with the injury. Finally, Drew v Jacob's gonna happen there. Whoever wins will face Cody at War Games, which again is a really good match. Just having them
I
mix it up.
think they're going to tease, they're probably going to have Jacob win that.
Yeah, and I'm just glad Jacob's in the main event scene now because he's been, he lost against Solo twice, and after that he never did anything, and now he's mixing it up with guys like Cody, Drew, and Randy, which I think is great for him. He's exactly where he belongs. So I mean,
This will be Jacob's first world title shot, no?
yeah, if he does beat Drew, I think he will be his first title shot.
Yeah, that'll be good, man. I mean, it'll be a good match, but
Listen,
Cody
I
will
mean,
probably still win. But
that's
yeah,
exactly
man.
what the company needs to be pushing, right? Guys like Jacob Fatu, guys
Yeah.
like Bron Breaker, they are your next guys, and like on Jacob on SmackDown get the push, Bron Breaker on Rose getting the push. That's exactly what the company's needed. So I mean, it's just good stuff,
Listen,
right?
this might sound controversial. Yeah, you guys know I'm Cody's #1 fan, but honestly, I wouldn't mind Jacob winning that match. It don't make sense, but in terms of character development and pushing him,
Yeah, we wouldn't mind, but we just know that's
yeah,
not.
obviously it's
For
Triple
me,
H's
yeah, it
golden
has to
boy.
be Drew McIntyre if anyone's going to be Cody Rhodes this
Yeah,
year, but we
I
all know
agree
that's
with
not
you.
going to happen. Yeah.
They're gonna do him over again.
Yeah, but you know what? It is what it is. I mean, that's pretty much all we wanted to cover then on this episode of Kayfabe and Out. But yeah, we've got plenty of wrestling content coming your way soon, so stay tuned. And yeah, that's been Mission Podcast. See you for the next one.